Hello, folks. We're back with more NACL VoD review. This time around, we've got DSG versus Blue Water, as Blue Water found the 5-game series win. Blue side went 5-0 in this one, which is kind of funny looking back. But excited to get through the tape. I casted this one. It was fun. It was back and forth, but Game 5 was something else. A couple one-sided games, a couple close games, so excited to dive in and see what we think of these teams as we move forward. As always, thanks so much for tuning in. Like, comment, sub have all helped me a lot. I'm now a partner on YouTube, so shout out to all you for supporting me in that. And follow me everywhere, Cubby XX, if you want to see when I go live on stream, and also when I do stream, as these are all streamed and I put them up on YouTube. So that said, let's dive in. Get through some tape, guys. I've been looking forward to getting through this tape, honestly, between the 3 series we've got today. So, game 1. Okay. NACL, this is Fearless Draft. Full Fearless. What happens in Game 4 and Game 5 is that Game 4, you lose the second phase of bans. Game 5, there are 0 bans. So, shit like Senna, shit like the Blanc, Rumble, the stuff that we're going to see banned a lot in this series, eventually you're going to have to deal with it. Because if not, then you get it in Game 5, right? The only way to have champs banned in Game 5 is to have played it at some point of the series. And that really is a big talking point in terms of how teams are looking at these in best of 5s. And also just like strategies for Game 5. Because the reason that DSG is here, as we talked about on a prior VoD review, is that they gave up Senna and got Seraphine Karma bot lane into it. And they clapped the shit out of that lane and that draft. So, big time. That said, one of the OP champs that is being let through in this is Aurora, which is first picked. We do not have the ability to chrono break this league, so Aurora is enabled. So Aurora is first picked. Corki Renekton, Zeri Olaf. These are 2 really big picks for Blue Water. I will say Levitate Zeri was his most played this year by far. And then it is Smolder. I don't mind this start. I think the big mistake in this draft is getting Lilia here. Like for me, if you're gonna ban out Vi Sedge, I think that's fine. Given like early game and then just like getting backline access and being a tank buster later on. But I think that we need the peel Smolder in some way and Corki in some way. Like when we saw FlyQuest running the double marksman comps with a Smolder, it's just about Ivern and frontline and stalling the fight, making sure that Smolder is ready to queue. Lilia doesn't help with that identity. So I think that DSG should actually pick up Maokai here. Maokai would have really slowed down the game, would have opened up a lot of space for everyone in team fights instead. Maokai gets picked, Rakan gets picked, and now we have like a lot of early game, really good reach and engage. And then if everyone's locked down, we just get the run rampant here. So, also, yeah, like this pick can and can't impact the top lane matchup. So, just kind of depends. Like obviously Lilia needs the resources. So, I didn't like that. And I didn't like Nautilus. I think Nautilus is fucking fodder into Olaf. So, it's good in the Rakan, but you're absolute fodder into Olaf. So, yeah. Anyway. All right, that's the draft. Runes. Anything interesting? Not really. Based. Yes. Greed the shit out of the runes, man. You get so much gold value later on. Like, you're just gonna team fight, especially in this league, you know? By the way, guys, we do have a live finals in the LCS arena the day after LCS wraps, so if you guys want to attend, you can. It's Aurora passive. Oh, also this game, really significant. We had Tenacity take Ignite, and then Quackers on Olaf, so this is a bit of a top lane solo queue game. Because whatever top laner, dies first or has a bad reset first, they cannot TP back to save their game. I didn't like what Tenacity ended up doing this game. I think if you were going Ignite. Oh yeah, we have Lilia reverse clear, whereas Maokai just working his way on the way up. So again, no TPC top, volatile lane, gotta interact. Tenacity ends up not like getting really far behind in this game and not being a frontliner, which really hurt the Smolder. Like this Smolder comp just like had no frontline, which is not what you want with Smolder. All you need with Smolder is just to stall time to hit Q. And then you're chill. All right, this ends up being really big. Shout out to our observers for the hover. Music skips over the Gromp to be here in time. And I will say Tenacity's playing with some false info here. Yukino, I think, should be not pulling this camp the way that he does. Because if he pulls it to the other side of the circle, like here, then he would have spot Maokai, and this game could have been completely different. Instead, we have... I mean, Samakin's up here too, but we pretty much just have a sack. And then Yukino doesn't flash this combo. I think that Yukino, he just really underestimated this damage, but he needed the flash here at some point. Because Samakin was here. And the fact that he gets so low here means that he's able to get chased down. And a really bad flash here. Good flash. I don't mind the flash from Samakin. I think it's protecting Quacker with that. But now the lane is pushing away from Renekton. So, and Olaf, I mean, it's kills on each, but Olaf's first base is, I think, better. So, all he has to do is just play defense and scale. Do these playoffs play any part in seeding or something for the upcoming merger of the Americas? Yes, the top 2 teams make it, and I'm going to assume that whoever wins each of their domestic tournaments will have a little bit better positioning. But I believe we're just playing like a round-robin group stage. So, not really. Not really. No, yeah, this is weird. This timer's just not here for Yukino. Like, bot is being shoved in. Mid first move went to Samakin because Aurora just gets shoved, and this is all spotted by Blue Water. And then Yukino just doesn't have flash and just dies. This was a pretty terrible call. The only reason, like, logic or reasoning that I'm gonna have for this is that Yukino thinks that Music's just gonna go for grubs. But not a very good risk. Not very good. And yeah, so now we just get everything as Blue Water. Music leaves up that last grub, which I don't mind. I think that like, he doesn't have smite, but he does allow for Quacker to get back to this wave. Tenacity has to base, so he can do a camp and just return to this. And this is big. I really appreciate how Quacker's not approaching on this timer. Just took what he could. This is like the last few timers where Renekton can actually like win and get through this matchup. Because once you get sustained, then Renekton can't one-shot you anymore as Olaf and Renekton. So then like Olaf just wins more of attrition. And once Olaf like breaks this matchup's done. Olaf does not look back. You have to all in him around his Ragnarok timer afterwards, but like that's hard. Just if he has R up, like he just wins. And we have Eclipse for Tenacity. This ends up being a problem for me. Because what happens is he goes Eclipse Black Cleaver, and then by the last fight he doesn't have Sterax. And like when there's no Sterax and you go Eclipse, you're just there's no front line for Smolder. So I think like the way Tenacity built, he had to be front line. He has to get Sterax second. So it's either Stride Breaker Sterax or Cleaver Sterax. I don't really care how it impacts this matchup. You're playing for Smolder this game. The Ignite ended up not being worth it. It does make us that you can kill early, but no. I think it really costs tenacity. At least when you take TP into Olaf, if Olaf ever fucks up, you get a big advantage in terms of XP and can, again, widen that window where you can kill him. Whereas now you're just signing up for whoever dies first, or like whatever lanes it back to first, you lose. And like, not to mention, if you get behind, you are behind for the rest of the game, and then like you have to slide in against Olaf, who again, if he has Ragnarok up, he just kills you. So I didn't like this. Yeah. I mean, we're close. We get a trade. Okay. This was a little bit of an oops. Manui fired the R right away. I think what Manui should do is you wait for the R to hit, and then you actually fire the R backwards. Because then when depth charge hits, you hit this instantly. We've seen Tomo using, like, and Yawn using a lot of, like, backwards smolder ults, so. Yeah, that doesn't connect. And then Samikin's here. This is a great hook from Poom. We do end up one-shotting the Aurora, but Aurora still is able to pick up the backline. And then DSG, they have numbers. While this is all going on, I was okay with this take from DSG, because obviously play just went on top side. I think it just misexecuted. Samikin dropped the way to protect this bot lane, which I know he goes down first, but it's actually kind of baller. I mean, at least he's here first, like, gets an impact, but there's no chance they win this fight. So for me, like, Blue Water's taking a fight. I mean, there's never a chance they win. Like, given Young TP, given Music is just stuck top during all this. So Maokai gets 2 plates. Levitate did his best there. And then nice W from Rovex. So, I mean, Blue Water, I mean, it's only a 2-for-1. It's really fun. Yeah, I think that if the Smolder R hits, it's really significant. Like, Smolder R not hitting ended up really costing them in this fight. I don't know if Levitate actually does get to step back up and, you know, continuously do some damage. And he definitely dies earlier. Like, maybe they're able to get Rovex off that too, you know? Anyway, after that, Music gets Herald, and then we see Aurora just absolutely fist Renekton out of lane. Sweet. We saw, let's see. Minui's at 125. A little bit behind, but not terrible. Then we have Herald mid while the Dragon's being set up. Samikin's up here because he has TP, so we can still interact with the play. This Dragon's set up. I mean, DSG's behind. I don't really think DSG can fight this. Yeah, I didn't like this fight very much. Aurora TP did get canceled by Renekton, which you can see behind my camera right here. So this just got canceled. TP was cast. And it was cast here. If that does land, it's really big. Good cancel, though. I mean, again, we're opting into a 4v4. Quacker missed his axe. I mean, I think what DSG ended up taking here is fine. I didn't love it because I just don't think DSG wins. Like, you have to get through Maokai. Levitate getting pushed back was big. But no one's able to follow up on Levitate, you know? So. Yeah. It ends up being not worth in the end. Not really well player from Samikin. Use the E back in. Like DSG, they try and stall, but play's lost. Now they're back. Now they're like later on the reset. They have to reset because their health bars. And yeah, Yukino shows transition to the other side of the map. So it's just gone. Blue Otter like just went out on that play, you know. I don't think like we're in the power trough for the DSG comp. And that's why I don't like it. Like your power is Renekton. If anything, you should play to Renekton on that side because they just made a play. So you can actually play to make a play on the Aurora, get her behind, get this. Instead of like straight up fight. You were signing up for a down numbers fight. And the fact that it was a 1-for-1 Blue Otter get the objective is like, honestly, it's not terrible. But I think DSG should have made more of an effort to trade out here. You have Corki and Smolder. Just wait for the double Miramanas. Much more playable at that phase of the game. But again, they don't have a front line though. It's like it gets so hard for these guys like actually pump DPS. How do you think the TL Fly series is going to go this week? TL's going to win. I think TL's meta reads better, and the way they play their stage of the game is better too. I think TL just, you know, denies Ivern for most of the series, and we'll see what happens. I hope FlyQuest gets a game. Yeah. I really don't think we're going to see, like, it's going to be C9, FlyQuest TL going to Worlds. I don't think we're going to see any surprises. Hold on. This was a nice move from Blue Water, I think. Like, I find it, like, I actually really like this from them. So they get Quacker, bot wave, and then they want to play for the last outer top. So when Quacker gets pushed, they drag him up. And then he's able to, like, mark and hover. So I know, like, they're actually able to play for this. So, like, they take away red buff. And then next wave, they send Quacker way back down. He doesn't lose a lot. And they get top outer. So this is nice. Stuff that Blue Water as well. The only time I saw it challenging TL was C9, but that's out of the window after the Fly series. I mean, it still could be a final matchup, you know? Or lower bracket matchup. You never know. And this is really good Dragon Control coming in, but Yukino is finishing his clear on the other side of the map. So DSG kind of has to buy time to get Lilia back in. Still, like, Blue Water having the map and all these waves where they're at's really good. And now DSG, they have to fight this one. I was surprised they fought third dragon. Tenacity gets chunked early. That's really bad. So, really nice chunk from Samakin. That's really well played. And that damage is kind of gross. And then this R, I mean, this R makes the fight so easy, guys. Revex flashes, they get the combo. Yeah, Quacker's on the flank, and it's just deletion. Well played. But again, like, there's no front line, and like even the way that the fight's taken, the front line just can't have an impact. Yeah, I mean, there's just nothing here. Nothing here for Blue Water. Or for Disguise against Blue Water. That was a really good angle and setup, though. Like, Blue Water definitely deserves some credit here. I didn't like this draft. Like, there's just no front line to help these guys. I think Ivern fits this comp really well. It's not a champ that this guy's really played or committed to playing. I think Maokai picking that instead of Lilia would have been really valuable this draft. Just more frontline, more control. You don't need more damage when you have Corki Smolder. It's fine. Do we like this Baron from Blue Water? I think Samakin, by the way, should, because this tower's not being contested, I think Samakin should reset and then get to here. Like, for me, this tower goes down, and even if a fight breaks out, we just lose Samakin TP for it. So I think prepping top wave earlier with this Baron is better. Because then you can get this in, reset, or just walk to mid. And then you'll have, like, a mid to top play available to take the last inner. Because Samakin would have beat his team to the wave up top. So, I mean, Quacker's going to get there. It's just a little bit delayed. Like, we're late in the wave. We want the wave to be in now. So, we're one wave late. So, I think Samakin should reset. Alright, instead, Samakin just gets solo kill. Cool. That works too. Yeah, I mean, this is just disgusting. Good champ. We only nerfed the R damage, by the way. This thing does way too much damage early on. I think Orianna's the pick into it, though. I wonder how comfortable pros are going to be playing Ori into Aurora. Because, like, you're going to have to let this champ through at some point, you know? I do think Ori's the pick into it. What's up? What's up? Alright, so we're fixing waves until Elder. We're so fucking jailed as DSG. Just incredibly jailed. That's kind of ballistic from Samakin, the fact that he gets away with this. I would like to see... I mean, I know that we kind of shit our pants here as DSG when we see Blue Water turn the wall, but unironically, I'm okay just sending it onto Samakin here. Yeah. I think Samakin was just in the most illegal position. Like, this is so illegal. This is really bad. That's kind of a brain buster moment there from Samakin. I just don't think there's any reason to hold that like that far up. Just play the Tri-Brush. That said, 4v5 favor DSG. This fight. So Quacker's just gonna walk in. And all the damage goes on Quacker. Ooh. Oh, he just lived everything. I mean, it is a good Maokai ult, and it's a really good combo from Rovex and Levitate. Yeah, that's really... I mean, it is well played from Blue Water, and I know that they're way ahead, but... Man. Oh, the double RFCs? I guess we just don't do any damage yet. I don't like the RFCs this game. I don't think you need them. I mean, you kind of need them for Olaf, but you want DPS for Olaf. Yeah, that... What poke damage sticks against Blue Water against a Mountain Soul, you know? Alright, that's game. It was a really nice team fight from Blue Water. They had a really solid game overall, so... Well played, well played. Game 2. More blue side wins. Alright, I kind of thought Rock Monster was going to be good this game. Ended up being not too hot. There was some lane swap shenanigans, though. Vi first pick. Similar bans for each side. We're going to see that for a lot of this format, by the way. Just because when 10 champs are taken away. I mean, changing up bans, you don't have a lot of reason to. So, Vi first pick. We have Ash Viego. And then Hui MF. Hui is a deny from Samakin, but Samakin does like to play Lux. And this is his pick into Hui. I don't love this draft though already from Blue Water because like Vi is first picked, and it's our pick in a way is something that like losing Flash is very punishing on. So if I'm in the camp of DSG now, it's like, okay, how can we get mid Flash out? Which I think that honestly, what should have happened this game is that they should have picked Cassante here, because then they might have been able to get support counter. So you just eat the whatever Cassante matchup Tenacity wants to throw at you, and then you try and get support counter here. Instead, they want top lane counter for Quacker, and it ends up being Malphite, which has some value this game. I mean, we have some ways to keep Kennen out of the pit. We can interrupt MF. Kennen, I mean, there is a lot of AP damage, but at least we have Snap engaged to try and get Viego a reset, right? My issue is that with the Blue Water comp, we just have 0 damage. Our damage has to come from this guy resetting. We have upfront damage. If we're able to bop people with this, then it's doable. But what happens is Blue Water, they have a really bad sequence, like as the game like transitions to plates falling, and this game gets blown out of the water like real fast. This game took way too long to end from DSG. More conditioning overgrowth, very lit. We do have a Demolish from DSG, which says that they might look for lane swap. I'm not a huge fan of Demolish personally. I think Final Life is hella value. Always. And then it's Airy for Quacker. Usually you see Comet in the melee versus range matchups for Malphite, but you can dodge Comet with Kennedy, so it's Airy. We're fighting for whatever godforsaken reason. For Mana Flow Band proc, sorry. And DSG walks up in the lane. Here they get any info or see a swap. All right, this is really big from Tenacity. He gets the 3 melee creeps here and doesn't take any damage. I think that's really big, so he's already ahead in XP. So, well played. And Yukino got up to this side of the map just to cover a dive just in case. I gotta say, unless Blue Water brings 4, they really can't dive. So Quacker, like, pretty much just ends up having a weird game. He is going to TP down bot and get some XP, but Tenacity is able to get everything solo. So Tenacity is already pretty far ahead in the XP war. And Music just walked over to take blue. This is contested. It was spotted. The flash is unfortunate. Good ward from Young in the mid lane here. That's what spots this. I understand when the play is strong side, but yeah, T flashes after and it's bad. It's pretty bad. So now Tenacity has double buffs and picks up another wave. And now they're going to swap back. I mean, top lane is like really cooked here. We're down a lot of XP. It's 5-3. And there's double buffs. It's not good. This game got out of control pretty early. And this is the dive that for me like really kind of just won the game. Yeah, I mean, that TP's does not matter. E was used on the wave from Samakin, so if E was there for Tenacity, he would have had to kill, but I want to believe Tenacity saw the E come out and then therefore did not flash. But this game's like actually a disaster because now we have early grubs on DSG who like do have winning lanes. So yeah. This game got really hard really early. Well played, though, from DSG. I mean, like, that dive top was really big. That really changed things for me. This is bad from Tenacity. I mean, he does have good ward coverage up here. But, yeah, I mean, it's pretty clear he's being hunted. It's a good R. He does flash this, but he kind of wastes time waddling. Music did have flash with the flash fall, but is able to save it because of the waddling, so... I think once he E's, he's kind of cooked. He's too far up in the lane. I think we have the sequence coming up here that goes really bad for Blue Water. Because I feel like this game's still in reach for them. It's just not good. Yeah, it's this play. So, Quacker's walking into this play, but he has no ult. So, Quacker's, like, pretty much fucking useless. And Music as well. He has no ult. DSG have all their ults up, besides Cannon, of course. I don't get why we went for this play as Blue Water. Because also, like, Ashe is stuck. And then Yukino has a really good stall here. Like, Samakin's no mana. It's just a, like, actual tragedy everywhere. Manui's ult could have been positioned a wee bit better for Music. But, yeah. Music sidesteps it well. Like, if he gets stuck in the choke, it's doable. I mean, like, Blue Water for me there are kind of fighting over nothing. I know it doesn't come out terrible for them, but they lose flashes, and then the punish afterwards is quite big from DSG. Like, DSG only burned Yukino flash there. Whereas Music and Quacker and Rovex all flashed. All right, we got Leandries on Kennen at 1050 or 1040. That's pretty big. So Grubs go over for free. Blue Water try and trade out the bot side. This is fine. And this is the right answer to second Grubs. I don't think they can fight, but again, because they use cooldowns and their top lane's behind, they just can't fight. And then DSG with 6 Grubs actually play this really well. So they send Manui top, and they just nuke the turrets. So first brick gone. They're just trading up. And then Manui resets. Tenacity gets the wave in. He's going to reset. And they're all just going to walk bot and do the same thing. So we have no Grubs. Blue Water aren't quite able to answer. And then because they tried to go for this, they never based. So the inventories are way better now for DSG. Because Yukino was able to get back. He's got this done. We have this for Kennen. We have this difference being made in the 80 spot. And most flashes are still down from that skirmish before the dragon. And Blue Water, like, for me, what they have to do is, like, they have to play away from this. I don't think they can fight this right now. Like, again, they did not base. So they try and play defense here, and then they lose this fight really hard. Decent opener from Manui. Keep in mind, Samakin's no flash. So once Samakin shows, like, he's no flash, he kind of walks into that. That's not good. Yukino is just pounding them on this side of the map. Yeah. And so tower falls. And, like, what's the time? Like, that fight where they lose, who are we buying time for? A Malphite with 0 Grubs in the top side. Like, Malphite's no TP. So, again, like that skirmish they took where they only found 1 kill and no objectives, and Malphite TP'd out, and we flashed with the Viego, the Malphite, and the Lux. Like, it ended up turning into this after the 6 Grubs. We didn't have anything to fight the second Taker Grubs for, and then we didn't have any tools left to defend that. We weren't shopped. We decided to, like, try to defend it anyway, and we just got smoked as Blue Water. So now it's a huge gold lead for DSG. That sequence, overloading both turrets, was really good from DSG. I don't think Blue Water played good defense at all around it. So, Samick has no flash. Levitate is stuck. And Music doesn't catch it, so Levitate just kind of eats it and dies. He's no flash in the last play. Poom went a little deep. Get bans. And then we just end up fucking throwing down this fight. I mean, pretty, like, good exhaust and not a great ult from Tenacity. Like, I think maybe there's a world where you can hold the cannon ult here. Like, there's just minimal value. Wait till, like, Music jumps in. Because then Music's able to jump in afterwards, actually finds a window, which is really good. Yukino plays this fight really well, though. Because we flash out under this, and Rovek's combo misses. So there's no reset on Viego. And then Yukino has Sundered Sky, so he has to go back in later on. This was a cluster. Nice Q. Sundered Sky proc 2. That misses, but you get another Sundered Sky. It's fine. Picked up like 300 health, Sundered Sky there. Honestly, again, like, kind of a good play here by Samakin to at least try. Like, if that Q misses, he might actually have been out of there. So, respect. But, yeah, this was a fucking cluster. And DSG just win. So, nice. I mean, I do like the re-engage from Music after, like, waiting out the cannon ult with Rovex. I think that was actually quite good. But the chase afterwards, like, they just don't get anything. Svai's damn fed. Yukino did play this really nice. That flash out from the combo and then the buffer of the headbutt, too, with the Q is really good. As an Alistar enjoyer, I don't like that Vi wins the interaction. Alright, so we use quite a bit on the Poom. We do get Poom. Ooh, how was Rovex not able to get this? Oh, he went for a bonus auto. If he waited to hit the auto, he would have hit the stun. I mean, he still gets it, but... Really nice ult here from Manui. Does get Malphite ult, but the one that's fed is Tenacity, and there's no ultimate. Or no exhaust deal with Cannon ultimate, sorry. I was looking for my words. And Samakin's too far up. Good flash, Manui. Yeah. This game is over. This game's over. It does take way too long to end, though. So we can at least talk about that a little bit. And this has me motivated to play some Cannon after this game. Seeing what Tenacity did was a pretty nice Cannon game when you get a dive like that. Yeah. Cannon get nerfed next patch, though. Probably because, you know, we saw that Q. Maybe Riot was a Blue Water fan. They saw that Cannon Q right there and was like, we need to nerf this immediately. I think Cannon's still pretty much the same champ, though. Just some matchups won't be as good. Okay. So we get sums out of Levitate here. Nice buffer from Yukino, by the way, on this arrow. That's nice. So Tenacity is able to like catch mid-wave high, so we pretty much just take sums away for free. I think DSG were kind of scared to hit this just because Lux steal, Viego steal, it's pretty good. So they'd rather just stack the Drakes. Drake doesn't really matter this game. This game was all about, you know, who can get kills when they press R. So Ocean Drake doesn't Doesn't really impact that. Ocean Drake's state of mind, man. That Drake's fake as fuck. At least for 5s. Solo queue, not bad. That said. I mean, they have all their waves fixed. They take the consolation prize of Drake. What's up, pro guy? I actually think this was a timer. So DSG, like, for me, some of the recalls here are kind of split, which I don't like. Like, I mean, I guess it's somewhat acceptable. Like, we kill our waves and reset. But we don't find a window to, like, actually do this. I knew we played this well. So he waits to cleanse until he gets under threat, and then Rovex flashes forward. Then he flashes that, and then levitate. Keep in mind, no sums. So, yeah. Dash is fucked. Well played. That's Baron. This game should be done soon. Except we have to troll. We are trolling. We're taking away summoner spells for future us. Nice combo from Samakin. Like, why? We just got Baron. There's absolutely no reason for this. But, you know, we're chilling. Just 2 freebies, you know. We just took Baron. We don't need to have a clean Baron. It's fine. Rovex looking for an angle. They just one-shot Viego. Nice from Poom. Blocker flashes and saves his ult. Ult's a lot of his power. And everything else falls. So, again, not bad. I don't know. This was a bit slop. Yeah, I mean, like, we're just winning because we're ahead, but, like, this isn't really clean by any means. I mean, we just forced the carries out. Wow, I love the blue water. Slowly getting there, guys. It for sure wasn't a 7K gold lead in 16 minutes in, you know? I mean, in this playoffs, it's not like DSG are doing anything like innately terrible outside of the deaths after the Baron, but I think this could have been played much better. Ash build looks illegal. There's less value in Bork this game, given who you're facing. I don't know. I'm not here for the Terminus exactly, but I don't think it's illegal. Maybe it's illegal. Ash does need defense in some way, shape, or form. Maybe it's a Wits End game. Or like a QSS game. I don't know. I don't know the thought process behind Terminus there. Alright, so we have an attempted pinch. For me, I don't love this from DSG. I think Tenacity is a little bit too far north. Like, honestly, I kind of want Tenacity. Yeah, he gets spotted really early. Like, he bluffs his way out. He has flash, so, like, he can't make a flash play. That's big. Actually, something that I wasn't talking about here. Yeah, they still find Levitate, who, again, Levitate's down sums. So, Poom is able to flash Q Levitate, which is bad on Levitate's part. This is a good play from Poom. He has no sums. This guarantees that you connect everything. So that is good. Good cancel by Rovex, but still doomed. And then when they get a reset, Tenacity is on, music, so it's fine. I mean, again, like, this game is so hard. But I just don't get how... Okay, we do end here. All right, yeah, it's fun. Yeah. GG's. It took a little bit long to wrap up, but I don't think it's bad by any means. I was speaking of illegal AD builds. All right, so we're thinking about Xayah in this game. We end up going Varus. I do think Xayah would have actually been decent this game. Because then we can kind of leave our AD to its own devices. But we go Varus, so we're going to have to protect Varus with range. We do have first pick Rumble. That pick was that through this time around. We banned out 3 junglers. Kind of wild. Ivern hits the list. Now that Vi's off the table. And Maokai's off the table. Blue Water still banning Senna. Rumble first pick, so that's been freed up, so Quacker gets his hands on that. It's a Cassante pick. This is the first Cassante that Tenacity has played since spring. I think it's more of a takeaway from Quacker, as I've seen Tenacity prefer Aatrox in this matchup, actually. Like, that's his choice. Thanks for the follow-up, Balcony. After that, we take Kaiserrel. So we have set up for Rumble already. And we can dive bomb whoever. I think, for me, that's the reason why I would have preferred Xayah. Just because, like, we have some defense to play against a lot of, like, the wombos that Blue Water is throwing out at us. Whereas Varus, like, we can pump the damage, but it's hard to play. Like, we really need these guys to play defense. And Rumble kind of roast and toast everyone in this game. Yeah, Rumble ends up being really, really big this game. Skarner jungle still emerging, especially if tanks are in the game. So I do appreciate Music having that tech. Music usually able to play whatever's in the meta and more. And then Samakin Talia, which is definitely a specialty pick for him. So, I mean, I think the value of Talia this game is, like, really just being able to hold onto the front line. And again, another reason why I wasn't a huge fan of Varus, because we're really vulnerable to Talia as Varus. It's not like we have a Tom Kench to get us out. We have to really rely on our positioning, and if Talia, like, throws an R at you, gets an E down, I mean, it's really tough. You don't have sums to sidestep the combos coming out. So I would have preferred Xayah this game. I feel like just having that R button to, like, install this, get out from any of this would have been really valuable. But not the case. So yeah, this was a close game. Approach velocity, Poom. I'm a big approach velocity Braum fan. That's about it. All right. Mirrored starts here. Xin going top to bot. Skarn doing vice versa. Think it makes some sense. Quacker to go for TP, so no ignite, no cheese like that. Yukino doing 3 camp spacing for longsword in case a fight breaks out, I guess. We'll be a little bit stronger, but we don't usually see that tech anymore. Yukino is still able to get to the crab on time, so I think it's fine. Just take him off map, though, a little bit. Yeah, you can see, like, this lane. I mean, level 3 Varus is so goddamn strong. They're doing alright there. Yeah, Tenacity ends up holding on to the flash, but his wave is, like, really cooked. Good defense here from Quacker. I mean, I know that he gets flipped still, but at least he's able to survive. It is tenacity, like, I think being up a wee bit for where this matchup should be. Now he has a flash advantage, so I'm actually surprised we don't see a solo kill come in from the Kazante around 6. I think it's very doable. Music gets a flash. I mean, overall, nothing really super weird's happened so far. Just been the top lane plays. I was a little bit surprised, like, all the focus on top lane, but yeah, Grub spawn. Grub should go to the Rumble team here, and also props to Blue Water. I will say what I really like here is Music showing on this wave is making sure that his support gets first base, and he's able to get to Grubs on time. That's good map play from Blue Water overall. Like, their bot lane base is first, so they make sure their support gets out on the map first, and they're able to do this. And they get sums out too. That's a little bit of a cherry on top, but making sure their bot lane gets first base does make this Grub, like, really, really safe. And they're ahead of the play. So they can actually come answer the Dragon Take, which Rovex is going to try and do. All right, so they try and go for Manui, who is down flash. We know Manui's down flash, so I don't mind it. I know it's a little bit of a reach, but yeah, everyone walks out. Now, while all that's going on, Quacker did walk down, whereas Sassy did stay top. So yeah, DSG ended up getting the dragon. Quacker does fall a little bit behind though from that walk. Never really impacts him though. Quacker ended up being really solid in this one. It's funny, I was talking, who's Blue Water's MVP? I think it's Rovex. I was talking to Rovex before the series. I try and ask, like, a player from each team just questions, like, just to get a vibe of, like, what's going on. And try and, like, have their voice be heard a little bit more on broadcast. So, Rovex is taking over mostly the main shot calling responsibilities with his team. It's him and Music, mostly, but I think Rovex is taking a bigger role. Alright, good flash here. I mean, this is easy. Zin's a really good ball carrier. This comp is set up really well for Xin Zhao. If you can notice the Smurf there, he could flash, get the kill, but it's alright. He might have gone down the turret. Regardless, once Oriana gets in control of this matchup, you have to make plays in order to break it, like in isolation, or he will just win. So that's big. It was funny, I was talking to Rovex, he's like, Tenacity's against the GOAT today. He had a lot of faith in Quacker. I feel like Quacker actually really paid off in this game. Because this game was close, and then Tenacity just really fucks up a team fight. Like, he gets 0 value, which is too bad. Still think really highly of Tenacity as a player. But he had a costly team fight in this one. This fight was good. Okay, so bots rotating up here first. They got top wave in. I'm super down with DSG starting this. I think it's fine. And then Samakin's no flash, so they blow up Samakin. And then watch this from Music. So I learned a new interaction today here, guys. Getting dragged through the rocks. So Kazante W, it pushed the... how the fuck did this happen? Yeah, it's Kazante W. It pushes them through the rocks, and everyone gets stunned because of it. And then Quacker's just doing a bajillion damage. Levitate is able to survive. But Manui is only hitting Rovex. And Rovex actually is almost able to get out. So while that's happening, like, I think Young, for me, really shouldn't throw this QW at Rovex. This is, like, a complete waste. This needs to be at Levitate. Like we have to throw this at Levitate. Well, I missed that on the cast. That's really bad. Regardless of the fact of, like, Rovex sidesteps that or not, it's bad. Yeah, so it's a 3 for 2 from Blue Water. I still found it so funny. Cassante W into Skarner ends up getting everyone. Like, see the rocks? The rocks were used from that. Because he W'd Skarner, like, while he had people hooked in. Like, that's a new interaction. I've learned 2 new Talia interactions through Blue Water. I should have known about, like, the Mordekaiser E1. I just haven't seen that combo be used. They were using Talia E and Mordekaiser E. Yeah, they all in Quacker, and Quacker overheated at the perfect time. Quacker played that really well. Really, it was a really good ult and a really good play from Quacker and Blue Water. All right, so Dragon taken. Kind of off the back of that last play, but I mean, it's 4-2 in grubs, and that fight being winning for Blue Water, I do think is big. Okay, so first thing I didn't love in this game. I kind of like the treads from Manui, I'll be honest. But I didn't like Manui's build this game. Because he doesn't go Rage Void second. He goes Terminus and then Wit's End. Again, I don't know the math on that, but I do think that DSG, like, end up being kind of vulnerable here. It's a good try from Manui on the R. Just I think he's got to throw it out earlier. So he still gets yoinked back. Uh, let's see. Sorry, guys. There's not really a lot going on in this one. I'll be honest. It's been a little bit quiet. That fight was interesting, but everything else has been, like, pretty standard. I think the big thing right now in the game state is that Talia is just far behind. So, like, if I'm disguised, I think the fact that they only got Samakin when his flash was down once was bad. And if I'm disguised, I would manufacture another way to get Samakin flash off. I think if Talia is missing flash against, like, Zen Ori, it's actually really tough for Talia to play. So, we have a trade here. Again, they're attacking the Quacker lane, and I don't like this. I want them to attack the Talia lane. Because, like, when you attack the Rumble lane, you can do stuff like Alta Wave, which you're going to see Quacker does on the next wave, right? Like, look, Equalizer is now off cooldown, so you're now just down a timer, right? Just goodbye timer. And at this point, if you just put it in isolation, like Cassante and Rumble, I like Cassante in later fights, and you're just going to go 1-for-1, and you actually get to punish Talia, where if you take sums away from Talia, it's significant. Rumble, I don't think so. I don't think that's the case. So, I think it's really big that we get Samakin that's hurt in that trade. Alright, is where things get a little bit funky. So we do have Kaisa with the Kraken Rageblade. No Shiv, but in this matchup, I don't think you need Shiv as much. You can match the wave clear of Varus and beat it, and in this case, Levitate's first the waves. So I actually like Kraken for DPS, getting through a pretty heavy front line, and Cassante Zen. I think it's smart. Meanwhile, Manui goes, I'm fine with treads. I think treads actually give quite a bit of value this game. But we just don't go for Rage Blade. Like, for me, Rage Blade is, if you want to go defensive boots, Rage Blade does kind of help get you the attack speed that you need to kind of catch up. It's a Terminus buy. I think that hurt. That and just the fact that, like, Kai'Sa's ahead and can dive bomb the Varus. I think Xayah would have been really useful this game. Just because, like, in a lot of these fights, you're going to see Manui just kind of gets one-tapped. And some of it are his, like, you know, we're not able to get out of it based on conditions. Some of it just well played from Blue Water. Like, if we're not able to play front to back with Braum, solo mid Shiro, thanks for the follow. If we're not able to front to back with Braum, I think Varus goes down in value. And with how bursty Blue Water's comp ended up being, it did really hurt. Okay, we just kind of ended up in this spot. Samikin's fixing a wave that Young got in. Again, Young's ahead, has prio, so it's fine. Young's really big this game on the Ori. Yeah, this is the fight that I'm just... Oh, this fight. Oh, this guy wants this one back. I actually thought this guy's game state was fine. I kind of prefer having the Orion in this scenario. I'll be honest. Okay, so first off, I don't like Poom being here. I know that we have to mark Rel. Like, marking Rel is dangerous, but Braum needs to be here. How we mark Poom, I'm not sure. Can we switch the jobs of, like, what's going on here with having Tenacity down here on an angle? I don't know. I'm okay with K'Sante playing, like, around here. I think also K'Sante, like, trying to mark Skarner is probably the best thing. But this is where things go wrong. Because we get one shot. Absolutely just one shot. And there's no R. So yeah, I mean, Tenacity wants this back. There's absolutely no reason to take this. The W forward, he gets stunned up. Quacker's a really nice ultimate here. He gets one shot. And then everyone just forces DSG back. Orialt does damage, but Levitate steps back, and that's the other health bars step up. And it's just it's an absolute fucking fight for toast and roast. I really think it's off the fact that, like, Poom's not here immediately. It's like Poom alt comes out. Yeah, I mean, Poom did rotate back, which is fine. But again, like, oh, nice follow-up too from Rovex. Yeah, I don't know. That was tough. This was tough. This was bad. This is just bad. I mean, it's well played by Blue Water. I just feel like because of the start of the fight that Tenacity had, they got that fight for free, which is therefore bad. All right, Baron setup pretty easy. They're gonna have Samikin not in the main lane, just given Weaver's wall. So just gonna play narrow 4-1. I think that makes sense for Blue Water. Yeah, the wall doesn't get a lot of value, so it is a little bit harder to siege. Like, you are into Orianna, who does outrange, like, the Talia Kai'Sa, right, in the siege scenario. So I think objectives like finding collapses ends up being a lot bigger for Blue Water, but at least they use Rovex and music to make some space. So it's a little bit slower. We're gonna TP Quacker up to keep the play going. I'm fine with this. I think this actually fixes the mistake we were talking about with the DSG Baron from last game, where it wasn't that efficient. They make sure they're keeping their waves high. Alright, so now map is just in possession of Blue Water. They get free Drake. Young shoving out top. Good yoink from Blue Water to take. I appreciate how Blue Water's been contesting red buffs throughout the series, especially on blue side. I mean, okay, I honestly think, I really think this is another reason that blue side's OP, man. I honestly think just because of like where Baron's at and the fact you get to contest red buff and not blue. I don't know. I find red buff so much more valuable than blue just because it has a fucking slow attached to it and sustain, you know? And the fact that, like, if you get ahead on blue side, you're contesting their red buff in the later stages of the game as a team. Like, you already want to be there. I think it's so much better. Like, unironically, I would like to, like, swap where the buffs spawn to try and balance out the sides. I really would. I actually think that's a better way to balance out the sides. But they will not do that. Actually, that'd be terrible for early game. What if they swap later in the game? What if it was random spawns? Could be interesting. Okay. We're going to start this aggressive. This actually ends up being a little bit awkward because Yukino, like, they're trying to get a Czar and he holds it. So well played, Yukino. Quite frankly. I think the stall, though, is, like, really big from Blue Water. We're trying to deny Chem Soul. Also, the fact that we have 3 Chemtechs actually really valuable this game. A lot of value, some value, decent value, gets value, no value. And then Tenacity gets value against this for sure. Like, keep in mind, this is like 24% healing and shields being buffed. That's pretty good. Every time we press Garner W, we get value, you know? Sometimes Chemtech is just situational, but sometimes it's slept on. Your music gets a fucking massive 3-man because, like, no one can keep out of the pit. That's the other difference. Like, I mean, looking back at this game, no one can keep music out. Like, really, no one can keep music out. Like, it has to be Verisar. And let's see where Varus... Like, that's literally the only thing that can stop it. And it's thrown at Samakin, who flashes. And still catches it, but... I mean, again, we get the combo. And Manui just can't auto. So Manui doesn't have sums up. Gets caught by this. And then gets womboed. Tenacity doesn't get anything done on the back line. We just get melted. And that's game. Yeah, I mean, I think Blue Water comp in the end it actually ended up being much better. Like, I really think that Zaya would have helped a lot that game. Varus just didn't have enough. That's okay, guys. We can see another massive draft gap here. Draft gap. All right, I was proud of myself on this draft. I called the Blitz and the Silas. And I mean, the Aphelios is an easy call. But I did see a Moo and I was like, hey, we can Silas here. Silas was indeed pretty good. I thought Cinder would have swayed it, but yeah. Anyway, this game. Sedge first pick. Keep in mind, Sedge's been banned for the vast majority of it, but we have a side swap. So we're taking away Udyr instead of Sedge. That does let the Sedge through. Amumu Jinx. So we're showing exactly what we're doing early on. It is a Jax Aphelios response. Keep in mind, we do not get a second phase of bans in this, so technically Red gets to back-to-back this. So we're drafting like it's Season 3 again. I mean, I really favor DSG's draft. First off, I think this is a better opener, and I do not like Amumu in this. Sejuani can make a lot of plays onto Amumu. Amumu has no way to stop Sejuani. I know it's old school, but I actually would have really liked... I think Blue Water should have went Poppy jungle here, or Wukong. Like, those are better matchups into Sejuani that are available than Amumu for me. But one thing that I will say is really strong in these later drafts is just having some form of identity. So, like, we have a very strong identity for Blue Water. We are playing for Jinx and bot side, and then we're going to peel Jinx in team fights, right? We know what we're doing. What is DSG doing? We're going to take Sejuani and pick 2 just melee solo laners and just try to fucking ball, you know? I do think that ends up helping. I just think that the Blitzcrank pick was like Thanos this game. You are so valuable against everyone as Blitzcrank. Even Amumu too. I know Amumu can like latch in and stun you, but if you're good on Blitzcrank, like your silence can slow it down. It can also break Shen shields, which ends up being used really, really well from Poom this game. And you have 3 immobile targets. And if Amumu gets behind, you can hunt him with Blitzcrank later on, which DSG does end up doing. So, yeah, because it is damage Amumu. So I thought this was a very good draft from DSG, and it gave them a lot of edge in this game. I would have probably just eaten it and put Amumu support and Poppy jungle, and I unironically think you have a better setup for this game, but that's just me. But yeah, seeing the Silas pick Amumu is pretty good. All right. It is Aftershock. Potential lane swap scenario. I still like Font better. We haven't seen Silas in a bit, but we're going Ability Haste and the runes now. Of course, Silas would have lost Tenacity, which was pretty good for him. Ability Haste, of course, I mean, it's useful as well. And then we have the HOB Poppy. Shen taking this point, and then these points. Ooh, okay, so a little bit of a focus on lane here. Interesting. I actually think attack speed's not bad for Shen. I don't know. You get your Qs out faster. Doesn't that help you get energy back? Is that better than Ability Haste? Of course, Ability Haste and the ult's big. Red Tree is also not bad on Shen. All right, we have a heal Shen. And we did get standard lanes. Which I think standard lanes are a bit disadvantageous here for DSG. Or for Blue Water. Alright, so Rex gets hooked. This game blows up real early, guys. Alright, Yukino makes a really nice play here. So Samakin, he's going to ward this real quick. You can see it here. It's pinged out. So look at that. Watch this. Yukino is going to dip into the brush as he kills the camp, and then he's going to go around it. Okay? This is really... Yukino has a great game here. He does a really good job. He was my player of the game. I got overruled by production. It was a bummer. So again, this wave coming back into Samakin. Actually, no, not yet. It will when the next wave crashes. Really good buffer there from Young and the Iskand Abduct. And Samakin's dead. And he does not flash. I also agree with the not flashing there from Samakin. Regardless, it's bad. So I think Samakin's first ward probably shouldn't be used on the camp. Should be used on, like, in the river spot. In a river spot. Also, I think Young's first ward is bad too, by the way. Because Amumu has no way to get into this brush without using flash. So you try and drop it out here. If I'm Samakin, I would have warded, like, either here or, like, down here in the river. Actually, against Sedge, you kind of have to ward in brush. But at least force Sedge to, like, go a long way. Yeah. At least force Sedge to go a long way. And then we have this wave being pushed into Tenacity. We have a no TP Shen. So Yukino just goes to impact this one too. So I know Clacker is able to sneak out of that, but he has no TP. So that is pretty big. But we do have the chain. Really well played by Tenacity to get out. He does have a TP and then has Yukino up here. So he's able to actually stick around with Yukino. Yukino shows they kind of make sure that Tenacity soaks this entire wave. It's team soak, but, you know, it's okay. Tenacity gets a kill off this. It's well worth it. I mean, I would trade a kill on my Jax and the Shen any day. This is a matchup. Again, like, once Jax gets ahead, he does not look back. Good hook from Poom. Died for the sins, but good hook. And then Yukino's here to hover his bot lane. They do have to reset. It's just, I mean, this game is just ends up being, yeah. Tenacity has pretty bad death there. At least has TP to get back, though, so it's like not too expensive. He loses a wave. but I don't think it matters that much in the game, honestly. Like, by going for that, Music's late to get Drake, and they miss out on contesting, like, bot dive or bot camps. So I actually really don't think that kill's worth it. Especially after that. Like, it's only onto the Shen Poppy. I just don't think that's worth it. And then they kill Samakin in return. And Dragon's not being taken, so I think that really did slow down Blue Water's game. And top lane is, like, just as fucked as it would have been. So, yeah, I mean, this game, like, the gold's even, but I think that Blue Water's, like, pretty cooked. I just don't see how they can defend against the Silas with a Mumu ult. And also Jackson's side then. Like, those things are just pretty invincible this game. So Nasty gets out for the rocket. Good try from Levitate.
Timing could be great, but like you said,
K-Finch 3420. Thanks for the follow. Also, I missed Jet7. I apologize. Thanks for the follow, Jet7. Yeah, I mean, this was kind of weird. They sent Manui up here proactively. And then Tenacity gets to go catch bot. And he's going to try and play defense. This was a little bit weird to me because it is a Shen alt timer. Like, Manui does die here, being down flash if he does stay. I actually think this is a decent solution from DSG. Like, Jax can actually play defense against the Shen dive, whereas Aphelios is fucked. And if Shen does go, then Aphelios gets back in the game, and that's exactly what kind of ends up happening. So I actually really like this call. This is a dumb hook from Poom, but, you know, respect. Like, for me, we're just kind of opening up a window for them to come back. I will say, while DSG does this, Manui is getting a lot. So it's going to be a losing fight for DSG. I mean, I don't really get what's going on here. Blue Water does their best to stall. Like, while that's going on, though, it's 4 for 3, but Manui gets the solo turret. And is kind of back in the game. So, honestly, I mean, I feel like it's okay for DSG. Also, like, when sums are down, if their solo laners are ahead, they can just continue to force the issue, which they are able to do after this. So, they go immediately to Grubs and try and fight, which I appreciate. As long as they stall here, then Tenacity wins on bot side. And if they find a good fight, they can take it. So they just go cut him off, and they get Tenacity. They have 4 Grubs, so... Really nice hook into Samakin. He can't flash out. I don't know how this was spotted by Poom, by the way. I guess Samakin crossed here. Oh, they killed a ward, and then he just guessed. Okay. That's lit. I mean, that's kind of bad from Blue Water. Like, for me, Blue Water need to kind of sack that side. And then just play for top. That side's, like, already done. You're going to be behind the play. But the fact they tried to cross their weak side of the map after making a play / taking Grubs. Like, that's bad mechanics. Or it's just bad map play. Bad macro. We break the law by trying to do this. Yeah, they get punished. Also, Shen was no ult, so, like, by committing the trade, you get to stall the window for Shen to get ult, because that is a really big cooldown. Instead, DSG gets fucking everything. So Tenacity actually TP's top to catch this. Young gets the bot wave, and then they get Drake, which wasn't traded out. Or that would have been the trade for DSG anyway. Because they dropped Grubs, so I don't know. I think Blue Water, like, just lost out on the play. I do think this draft's really hard for them. But they're, like, for me, that's them playing at a window that's just not theirs. Christmas time. Yeah, I mean, Rovux just gets tapped. Yeah, and you can kind of see the ult from Poom was a little bit late, but we have a Shen ult of our own. At least Quacker waited that one out. And, I mean, this fight's just... Like, we just don't have damage here. Like, Poom is such a menace this fight with Young. And, like, Levitate's kind of so can't do too much. Levitate does his best, but the way we play with our health bars here on DSG is quite good. And Tenacity is just farming while it's all going on. I mean, this is just game. Like, Tenacity gets an inner while DSG just straight up wins the fight on the top side. And Young's 8-1. Like, that's game. This draft was a bit of a whoopsie sneezes. I know we talked about it a little bit, but, you know. I don't love Amumu right now. I know that there might be angles for Amumu in Fearless. I just don't like Amumu. I think you see first pick Sedge, and you just sign up to play Brand. It's like Brand Trist or some shit.
Timing could be great, but like you said,
Hey, what's up, Chris? Good to see you. The draft was perfect. Blame the players.
Holy shit, he's hot.
Wow, sub too. Appreciate you, Chris. Hope it was a decent season for you guys. Best of luck going to the next one as well.
Timing could be great, but like you said, Cummy.
Hey, Thin Uncle Phil. Head coach of Victorious Blue Water, by the way. For those that don't know in the chat, thanks for the follow. Gotta watch your VoD reviewer, boys. It is, unfortunately, the last one. Yeah, glad you guys had fun. Hopefully some of the guys grew. I think highly still of some of the guys you got on this squad. Really hoping to see more of, like, the top side. Especially still. Thought Yukino, like, actually had a decent split. And Poom was a monster in this game. Yeah. Nice snipe from Manui. Yeah, I thought Yukino had a pretty nice split. Yeah, I think so as well. I mean, I think it was part of, like, him and Yukino, though. Yeah, all good. Losing Tomo was definitely that definitely hurt, but I mean, good opportunity for Tomo, of course. But yeah, nice for Music to buffer this. He does get one shot over the wall. Yeah. This was awkward. I mean, it ends up being okay. This is just awkward. Yeah, I mean, Tenacity went down. It's pretty big. Get much time before split 2 because we were figuring out stuff for staff and players. Yeah, for sure. All right, this is where the game, again, like, Blue Water is trying to play out. They kind of want to fight, or they just want to fight, but they try and get too much, and then DSG just comes in and takes him down. I think this was an overreach, but Manui did have a late death timer, and I think the Blues game is still really hard. So, again, I can't blame him too much, but yeah. This game was pretty over. I mean, Jax is just such a horror, too, like, when you get on this stage of the game. This fucking champion. Yukino finds the yoink. Solo Drake, I'm down. I don't know why Yukino is doing these camps, I'll be honest. I think we should look for play on side, but it's kind of why DSG stalled out a little bit these two games. Like, this game is really over. Just gotta find the right fight. which is very doable when you have Sedge Blitz. All right, so we're 30 seconds till Baron. Blue Water can't get out of this brush. Good job by DSG to hold the line. Waves are in really deep. So we start hitting it. Young is going to have an angle. I appreciate the fish from Poom, actually. Like, I know, like, he can survive this. I think it's fine. And then we just have, again, Young with a Moo ult. So the front line melts. Yukino misses, but it still finds a slow on Levitate. And Sanasti lives because he's got Sterax. Again, we're not even hitting shit on Levitate, but... So, like, Levitate's doing his best here, but it just doesn't matter. If anything connected, it would have been GG, but I appreciate some of the discipline there from DSG. Just got a little bit close, but... Yeah, level 16 Silas. We get a second ult in the fight. And it's pretty big. We almost had an oopsie, but it was fun. Definitely different jobs you gotta do, yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of esports and gaming, you know? Heyo! Goodbye, Chenault. So that's Soul. Again, this game's over. We're just kind of playing this a bit slop. But our Jax is level 18, guys. It's pretty sweet. We have an Amumu ult coming in. Yeah, I mean, this is the push. There's not too much to talk about here. We still can't end. Okay, that's right. I was depressed about that. Yeah, I mean, I get not wanting to dive 2 Nexus turrets, so we just reset, but this time we don't have a Mumu ult, which kind of hurts a little bit, but it's fine. That was pretty big. Yeah. All right. GG's. Game 5. This game was interesting. All right, no bans. I actually really wanted Aurelia, I'll be honest. Water comp was hard that game. I really wanted young Aurelia this game. But this thing does exist. But, oh, Aurelia would have been so fun. All right. So we saw this trade. DSG made it in their game 5 against TLC where... And then, hold on, I'm just going to do this. This helps me a lot. Okay. I really like the Seraphine side of the Senna matchup. I'll be honest. I've seen enough where I actually think that you can play Seraphine in the Senna and you get like some strong windows. You kind of match sustain, but some of the AoE buffs that Seraphine gives and CC she brings to the table can help you overwhelm Senna and kind of match the sustain as well. I think if the game goes too long, then like Senna can just like Thanos outscale. But if you take other things to interact with it, I think it's fine. The big thing is just that we end up having Yasuo, which can block Encore and is really useful this game. And then also Udyr to kind of hold the front line can also help a lot. And then Zoe Lee Sin to just kind of get us there. I still think that Blue Water, their comp is weaker in the 5 stack, and they do get outscaled by Seraphine, Taric. On the DSG side, I appreciate Taric. I still wanted to see Karma. I think Karma actually would have really helped them overwhelm the Zoe and Blue Water and the Senna. And also, like, if we want to run Taric, I mean, I would have ran Aurelia with it, honestly. And you just play out the 3 lanes. Zoe is Thanos here. Zoe is pretty good here. I mean, I think that's why I kind of wanted Karma to help overwhelm Zoe and Senna. Also, like, the Darius pick topside doesn't help against something like Zoe. So it was interesting to see Tenacity take Quacker's best champ. To play it into Udyr, which was a historical counter, but Tenacity, funnily enough, Darius in this matchup, he used to need to take Tenacity in order to win, and he lost access to Tenacity with the rune changes. So you no longer get to go old unflinching, which I think was really important in this counter matchup. Yeah, Sven is a coach now. Just made no sense to me. Yeah. I mean, I think that you can just kind of wait to 5-pick. Like, you know it's going to be bot lane here. And I think that you can just blind Azir and then 5-pick top. I know that Tenacity is not an R player, so maybe just scared that he didn't have picks in the Darius, so that Karagas just wasn't good here. That was his pick. Sammy thought it was a good Zoe game. Nice. I do like the theory, though, of, like, at least Seraphine with, like, a heavy melee team, which is why I like Aurelia. I really like the Camille Xin pairings that we found for DSG against TLC. Like, I think that really helps use and abuse the strengths of Seraphine. Skarner has already been picked. And Skarner top is no longer good. I think after the change, it's much more jungle focused. Yeah, because, like, I mean, I'll be honest. Like, I think you can play Aatrox this game if you're Tenacity. So I was kind of surprised to just not see Aatrox. I think Aatrox is really good here. You can get bopped by Zoe outside of that. I think it's really good. And it sucks in lane swaps too, which, speaking of, enough of draft. Oh my god, I hit the 0 button. That's not ideal. Alright. So again, this is the new standard Senna build outside of Gathering Storm, but I think the Storms are fine. Wow, we actually won Storms. Interesting. We took the Storms. Respect. Everything here is pretty standard. Yeah, I mean, yeah, everything here is pretty standard. This game was sad. I mean, this was honestly my favorite game of the series. I just feel bad for how it ended for DSG because they whiffed they whiffed everything. It was just kind of a bummer to see that that's how the season ends.
Timing could be great, but like you said, Cummy.
M's Billy's son. No spoilers. I start every VoD review with spoilers, guys. Okay, I really like this play from Blue Water. I think that, like, Darius, again, you are just piss useless level 1. Piss useless level 1.
Timing could be great.
Everyone's
like you said,
pretty useless level 1 outside of Seraphine. Tarek, this level 1 is pretty solid, especially with Udyr. So I really like dictating the map and finding the lane swap. I do think in DSG shoes, they should have seen this one coming. You cannot touch your top side. They did drop an early ward, and they have to just seed everything, but I kind of wanted the Tarek and the Seraphine to be up top and just guess the swap is coming in, because I think that's the only way to play this one. Also, like, no TP on the top laner. Because, like, now Tenacity is just really, really jailed. And I know they can't find any scouting, but, like, this puts them way on the back foot. Yeah, I kind of wanted to see them read the tea leaves, I'll be honest. I would, like, yeah, I think this is just the only option for Blue Water. So at least Poom's able to come up here to help support, but it's still going to be an early dive. So they wait out the stun, even better. I think that's an oops from Poom. Levitate goes down. But they remove the Darius, who's TP-less. And then Poom plays it out to the best of his ability. So now, Seraphine got these waves in. I was really surprised to not see Darius just go bot here. Especially after this TP from Quacker. Because now we are in standard lanes. Instead, Tenacity walks up here. I was so surprised to not see them just, like, flip the map back. I know Tenacity would have been down. But they opt to maintain the swap. And then Udyr gets to solo against Seraphine, who just cannot move the Udyr. So Udyr just is infinitely more useful in this game, in this scenario. Like, at least if we, like, are able to drag Poom and Tenacity down here, like, he can at least get this. Or, like, Yukino's on this side of the map. We can get this wave. I was so surprised to not see Tenacity go back down here and actually like maintain the swap. Where again, he's getting fisted. I know that he's really good in the Yasuo. Yasuo does have trouble in that scenario, but you have Senna just walk back and survive. I think it's fine. I was really surprised to see this because now like when Quacker gets back up here, I was also surprised to see Blue Water not maintain the swap. I think Blue Water should have maintained the swap. I think the scenario is so good for Blue Water if they get to 2v1 the Darius. But I know from talking with them afterwards, they were scared about Darius being in the Yasuo. Because like Yasuo just cannot go in. So yeah. Yeah, this was just not good. Music does get forced out. I was really surprised though that they opted back. Kong's going Triforce this game. Super down. You got Seraphine, Tarek. Like, just get damage. I really like Triforce on the Kong. And then, yeah, I mean, top's just free. We have no MR yet on the Darius, so he's going to get kind of chunked out by the Udyr. I do think you need to go Treads this game. Early on as Darius. I'm not exactly sure about this matchup, but I assume that like if you just play off your like just try and stack up bleeds, like that's the way to go. So you just go defense, then try and stack bleeds. Yes, I mean again, like DSG when they swap back, like they have the Darius solo and Yasuo, which I think is their best scenario right now. I will be honest, but we're still like Quacker has been able to get everything on the map. And we still have Darius getting starved. And again, Darius is only good for damage. Only good for damage. Like, he just brings damage and resets, right? So, yeah. I really like the freeze. I really like zoning him off. There's no objectives to take on the map right now. Just fuck the Darius. They all kind of need the snowball. Yeah, a little bit. I mean, like... Looking at this, like a play like this, I mean, this is really telling. Good kick by Music. That stun missing hurt. Nice wind wall from Rovex. This is bad from DSG. They end up taking this for whatever godforsaken reason. Poom misses. I know it's a level 4 levitate. I mean, I'll be honest. I actually think they can win that if they catch the levitate right away, but yeah, that's just bad. Like we're also too deep, and Samakin gets to play a really aggressive fight. So he used his real flash, but he started with a fake flash and able to pick up another one. So yeah. Also interesting to see Samakin go with a different Zoe build. When he played Zoe earlier in the split, it was Fleet with double mana runes. And now it's Airy. Maybe that's just a Azir thing. Like needing Airy, but not having Fleet. I will say like Fleet has some value in this matchup. I did really like Young's tank Azir build. I actually think tank Azir was like kind of smart this game. Just don't get one shot. And then if you get Seraphine sustain, you know. Like in my head, that's pretty good. And he went Nash's second. So I think that's also, like, kind of fine. You do want damage. I mean, he went Leandri's in the Nashers, which is pretty much just what you do on Azir, just inverse. I think that's fine. It actually gets you out of the matchup window. They have 0 damage with tank Azir. That's true, but I still think you're playing the later stages. Yeah, I mean, you just inverse the build to like get out of a Zoe power window. I don't think he needs Nash's like really wave clear pressure. Nowhere near enough. Okay. Udyr will not die 1v5. That is true. That is true. This Udyr is going to be really big. I am pretty sure what ended up happening this game is that if DSG hit their ults, they won the fight, and if not, they were down. All right, so we get brute forced off. I think the big thing about this, at least like while this is going on, Quacker does shove out and then walk down to protect mid. So we do get Tenacity some free time, and at least DSG are able to hold on. The fact that Quacker walked out of this was actually really big. Like that, because this would have been a nice shutdown. Yeah. Like Herald's being taken during that too, so they get out and they get the objective. It's really big. There is no the jungle this week.
Could be great, but like
yeah,
you
still
said,
you remove them. You at least get them off the map. Like if it's faster, maybe you can like look down. I think the Herald was already gone. Tax-free businessman.
Could be great, but like you said, Cummy.
I'm cold-hearted and Jay Bombsky. Thanks for the follows. All right, so I mean, this is one of the fights where, like, when the abilities hit, we are able to get a one-shot. I'm not sure if the Senate Shield came in before or after we went down his music, but good find from DSG. See Young's just kind of chilling and stacking. All right, so we had Dragon spawning. Blue Water's got a nice gold lead. I think this is expected given the swap, and also just like what each comp is. I thought that DSG though could like start to at least get back into this game if Kong was able to get to a couple more items. Like again, I think Kong is really strong with Enchantress behind him. Like, actually able to kind of shred tanks, or at least shred people. Yeah, so we have a trade. Drake goes over to Blue Water, and they're able to get this wave in. It's all good. Infernal Drake, pretty nice. Some more deeps. All right, so we got this wave all the way in. Quacker goes unstoppable. Nice. They do get Quacker, though. Yeah, so Quacker didn't have unstoppable for this one. He's trying to play the wave. Nice play. And no response. I didn't love this TP from Inui, actually. I think, A, it's too deep. And B, like, it's not 100% necessary, at least not yet. I don't think Blue Water really has a play here. Like, if he's on mid, then they can get this in and, like, get mid wave, actually. But the fact he's TP down, then we're late to mid and mid play. So, they still get bot. And then Young gets Snatchers, so he will be pretty relevant for the upcoming fight. What's up, Flyboy? Yeah, I mean, not too much to do until the next dragon spawns. Like, the other thing about this game is that each team just has a pretty terrible Baron. Like, each Baron here is, like, relatively terrible. Poom can at least keep you healthy on the Taric. And Blue Waters is, like, it's not great. Blue Water wants you to start Baron, which is why I was so surprised that DSG started Baron at some point in this game. I thought Baron would just be ignored for the team fight. Speaking of fights, all right, so Music walked in. They get a pick. They take Jungler before Dragon. It's really nice. Good setup. This took too long. And they can tank forever, but you're still like in an elongated Baron scenario. Alright, so they get a Zero TP off the start. And then Manui gets picked here, which ends up being really big. So, like, for me, Manui, he didn't flash once he catches this. And he's too far up. Yeah, like, if he flashes the E, it's really big. And even, I think he has to flash afterwards. I think he still dies if he does. But he might have been able to get out of at least the Udyr burn. Because the Udyr burn took a lot of his health here. Yeah. Like, God, the Udyr art does so much damage here. Jesus Christ. Yeah. Really good spacing here from Samikin, by the way. I have, like, post-Rocket Belt. Sorry. Yeah, really nice. Yeah, so now we return to the scene of the crime. And now things are chill, right? Just got to keep Yukino out, which Quacker's going to do solo. Udyr is very fed. And it's a slow Baron, and it's a healthy Baron. It's fine. Yeah. Well played, Blue Water. This was a really gutsy call for me. Because at the start of this play, like, it is 4v5, right? Or at least, hold on. I mean, it ends up being 5v5. Hold on. It's 4v5 because Music gets picked here. So just to say, like, hey, our waves are good enough. Let's not fix them. We're just going to do this while their Rs are down. Like, the big thing about this play is that these two Rs are down, right? So the fact they made this call, I think it's a little bit lucky they got Manui here. Because Manui does have ult up. So again, like, the fact that we're able to sync that up is big. Yeah, Manui just had the flash. And then Tenacity getting picked here is really, really well played by Samikin. Nice. Yeah. Nice. I mean, that's a great call from Blue Water. I felt like the game wasn't really... Like, it was kind of shifting back into DSG's favor. DSG had a couple picks where, you know, stacked up as 5. They're actually able to make their, you know, press hard and make their comp work. That's really big, though, because Blue Water gets so much gold off this Baron. So they really get themselves back in the lead. Yeah. I mean, it's an easy one. Like, just having Udyr match the Darius, you will straight up win that lane. Just playing the right 2 wins. And once they answer Quacker, this turret falls. We'll play Blue Water. Then top got in. It's fine. Yeah, knocking down those turrets, like, they got so much gold off that. Again, like, the lead was just being kind of chipped into by DSG. Taking those turrets is big. Smite 1. This was kind of weird for me from Blue Water. Music's just spotted on the angle, so this is actually a really good scenario for Tenacity to be able to, like, be able to bully here. And we split Quacker up from everyone else, but they can't kill his ass. I think Young needs to, like, If I'm young, I kind of consider sending it here. I'll be honest. This is actually a decent scenario. He's got flash. Like, at least, like, you can at least E in and get a scoop to the side, no? Yeah, like, I think if Young E's and then R's just the Udyr, by the way, it's really good. I think it's really good. I don't know why we waited for the R. I actually think Quacker dies if he gets hard. Whom exhaust kill Udyr? No. I think Young R-ing him north at least puts pressure on. Yeah, again, like when the ults are down, Blue Water are gonna push, which I appreciate. I think there's no blood in this skirmish, but like this for me is like Blue Water just understanding like, hey, like a lot of this game does rely on their R's, so if we play around it, it's much better for us, right? Is it just me or has Blue Water helped out a ton by Fearless? I think the read on Fearless is decent, but game 4 they weren't helped. So maybe they're helped by Blue Side, guys. Blue Side was 5-0. I don't think so. Like, if anything, they have like a younger team with like rooks, so they've actually had to like really pick up champs or like like it's been harder on them than a team like already, you know, has more experience coming in. All right. Hey, at least it's an Udyr OTP. You know, it's no longer a Darius OTP. All right, guys, this is the fight. Oh, wait, no, it's not this fight. Sorry, it's the next one. See, like, that time we did wall, like, we're actually able to kill Quacker, but just can't get anything else done. I'm shocked, by the way, we didn't hit Baron after this as DSG. Okay, DSG, I don't want them to hit Baron proactively as long as Zoe's up, but if we're going to hit Baron, it has to be now. I was really surprised we did, like, we have both waves in our favor, and we just gave them control back when Quacker's no TP. That shocked me. I actually really think this was like DSG's window if they want to hit Baron to do it. They do have 0 ults. Yeah, it's run with what? True. I'm blind. Alright, they can't do shit. Yeah, alright, that's my bad. They need to play with ours. They need a big R fight. Oh. Alright, so now Dragon's up. It is Soul for DSG. They're gonna posture Baron's side. And this is the game. Alright. So, I'm sure if you're an NACL fan, you've seen this fight. So I'm not going to spend too much time on this. But the first thing is that we're split here. Right? So DSG is split. And Yukino's ult is the only ult that connects this fight. That's the other big thing. And it's just the one on Wukong. So, nice kick from Music just to disengage. I think that was actually quite nice. Because as long as we keep this in neutral state, we have Zoe poke, which is really big. And you can see it ends up being big. Music gets stunned up here. This is the other angle where I actually think it's kind of doable / winnable. Young's going to go in. Young has flash. And then Music's able to sneak out. Why didn't Manui chain with Wukong R? Because they weren't on the same page. I agree with you. And then Ozira gets slept. Quacker's on Manui. We double R everyone. And Udyr just... And Snappy can melt the fuck out of everyone. Yeah. And that's game. This was a close game. It was an interesting game. I think partly given the draft and like it felt a lot tenser. But man, like that ending, I mean that was a bummer for DSG. Like everything just went wayward. So yeah. Anyway, I have a question, a few things about this fight. One, why are DSG forcing it? I think their Baron's fairly fast to do damage. Just commit to the finish, the young point to keep him out of the pit. I mean, the thing is, though, that Music, like with decent execute, and also Samakin with a smite, is a very advantageous scenario for Blue Water to steal. So if you commit to actually finishing, like you're down to smite. Like if Blue Water to say 2500, we're gonna lead combo with Zoe smite. Like that's probably going over to them. In terms of hitting the Baron in the first place, I am 100% with you. But they choose to take control of that side here and not contest their bot side. Hard time getting it with a zero wall. Was zero wall whiffed. They tried to kill Lee instead, and it whiffed. Yeah, he cannot hit free hit in Baron. Like I think that DSG really wants Blue Water to hit the Baron, not vice versa. Because that's the only way that Azir can hit. And also, like, it puts Zoe in the same scenario that Azir's in, right? Zoe has a choice of hitting the Baron or hitting opponents. And when Zoe only gets to hit you and you're trapped in the pit, that's not a great scenario. Turn, not hunt Lily. Yeah, I mean, whatever turn they take as a team, like, I mean, this is where it's lost, right? Every fight we've seen go in favor of DSG has been Wukong ult synced up with Seraphine ult. This is the first one we don't see that, and it hurts a lot. I mean, it just is the game. So, anyway, that's it. Congrats Blue Water on the... I should say congrats to Blue side for being 5-0 and Blue Water for being 3-2. So I guess they need to do a little bit of work. But that's it for this VoD review. If you're watching on YouTube, feel free to drop a like, comment, and or a sub. And follow me everywhere at CubbyXX, as we're going to be posting more VoD reviews for those NACL